U.S. officials are urging Americans in the Middle East to leave the region immediately while evacuating some non-emergency personnel.
But several airports are grounding most flights amid the conflict. GMAT's Marshall Farmer is here finding out where Americans are having a hard time leaving right now and what options are left.
And now 3 days after several airports were attacked by Iran, some are starting a limited number of flights today. But many American travelers are still stranded, having to shelter in place as they wait for flights to open up. Right now, the State Department is ordering non-emergency U.S. government personnel and their families to evacuate 6 different countries. Those include Jordan, Bahrain, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. They're also urging Americans in any of these places to evacuate immediately through commercial travel as it becomes available. Airspace in Iran, Iraq, and Israel remain closed. If you or someone you know is in the Middle East right now, signing up for the State Department STEP notifications lets the nearest U.S. Embassy contact U.S. citizens and nationals with emergency information. Americans traveling abroad can also call the number on your screen for emergency assistance. U.S. embassies across the Middle East are updating their websites with the most recent closures and travel options. State Department is also issuing a worldwide caution alert to anyone traveling overseas. Blaine, Deanna.
All right, Marshall, thanks for that.